Court rise. Bow.
All the candidates in the court is required to keep your headphone silent and then remain silent throughout the procedure. So today, 25th of July 2014, the case is between Queen against Chaplin and Watson, held in Supreme Court in South Australia. The accused, Chaplin and Watson, were charged under Section 11 and 12 of the Criminal Law Consolidation Act 1935, South Australia, which may lead to life imprisonment if they were found guilty. So, prosecution counsel, you may give your opening address now.
Honorable Judge, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today I, Mr. Koo, and my colleagues, Ms. Wong, who is my solicitor, and junior counsel, Ms. Aim Razif, will represent the prosecution in the matter before you. The matter before you today is a murder like any other, but with an abnormal victim. She is an 87-year-old woman who was more than helpless against the likes of our defendants over there. Today, throughout these proceedings, the prosecution will prove beyond reasonable doubt that the defendants over there are indeed guilty as charged. During the proceedings, the prosecution will bring out several witnesses, namely the son-in-law of Ms. Hubbard, who will testify to the condition in which the body was found. A neighbor, Ms. Hubbard's neighbor, who will testify as being a witness to the activities that were going on. A policewoman who will testify to the credibility of CCTV footage, and plus a forensics expert who will testify to the credibility of the evidence found. Therefore, at the end of these proceedings, the prosecution is extremely confident that the jury will see it our way and will decide against the defendants. Thank you.
So now, prosecution counsel, you can bring your witness.
My first witness would be the son-in-law, Mr. James.
I, Book Ji Heng. Sorry. James Brown. Hereby swear. I will say nothing but the truth.
Prosecution counsel, now you can start the questions.
Okay, Mr. James, what time did you discover the corpse?
Objection, Your Honor. That witness is irrelevant because it has nothing to do with the criminal case, the crime scene. Yes, it is indeed that this son-in-law, James Brown, had discovered the body, but what does it have to do with the crime scene? He merely just found the body, but is he a witness to the crime? No, right? Your Honor, please consider this point.
Objection. Objection retained. Because, as he said, this witness had nothing to do with the criminal case because he was not there during the case happened, during the murder scene. So, objection retained.
Witness has to go on, sorry, cut the camera. You can't object a witness, sorry, okay? So defense your bodies.
Can I? Yes,
Cover the corpse. arrived at the house, was the door unlocked?
Yes.
Besides the unlocked door, what else did you notice about the
Broken saw.
What did you do after entering the house?
I rushed into the house straight to the bedroom, which is connected to the bathroom.
And did you find her in the bedroom?
No, I found her in the bathroom lying.
So what was your immediate reaction?
I was shocked and I called the police.
Can you briefly describe your conversation with the police?
I'm still in a state of shock, and the police asked me to check whether she's still breathing out. And I placed my index finger under his nose and the under her nose, sorry, and she's not breathing.
Throughout your checking, did you come in contact with the corpse?
No.
Please describe briefly what you saw on the corpse.
I saw bruise on her face and blood clot on her neck, and the knife stabbed in her abdomen.
Why were you at the crime scene?
Because the church people that know my mother-in-law stated that she did not show up to the church, so yeah, I went to check her out.
No further questions, Your Honor.
So, defense counsel, would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, please.
Your Honor. I understand that you are the son-in-law to the victim, yes?
Yes.
Then, can you please tell me, where were you during when this crime happened?
I was at Melbourne.
And what were you doing there?
I have a meeting with my company
And how long were you there?
for like 3 days.
You appear to the same accident. Are you certain that you
Yeah,
were-
certain.
Very well. Upon returning back, do you immediately rush over to your mother-in-law's house?
No, I'm not staying with her.
Then, from what I heard, you went over to the house because church people informed you that she was absent.
Yes.
Is that right? So, and what do you see upon reaching the house?
As I said, I saw the door unlocked and also a broken flower pot.
Second, you saw a broken
Flower
flower pot. Where was the flower pot?
outside the door. Right beside the house, near the door, front door.
In front door.
Yes.
And where do you find your mother-in-law?
The bathroom.
Where exactly in the bathroom is she?
Excuse me.
Where exactly is in the bathroom is she? Is she near the corner, near the bathtub,
Just in the middle of the bathroom.
in the middle bathroom?
Yes.
Very well. Then I presume that you called upon the police.
Yes. Right after I saw her.
How were you feeling when you saw her body?
What are you asking? Of course I'm shocked.
Were you feeling frightened?
Of course I am.
So, and how is it? And when upon the arrival of the police, do you inform anyone else of this?
No.
Of this? No. Not even your wife, who would be the daughter of the.
Objections, Your Honor. The lawyer obviously asking questions that are not related to the death itself.
Objection again. So you may like to change your question.
In that case, Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness.
Prosecution counsel, you can bring in your next witness.
I would like to for you is the CCTV footage that was located. CCTV was located at the back of my house. There was CCTV footage at the crime scene. Were you the first person who retrieved it?
Yes, I was the first person.
And were you analyzing? Were you the only one analyzing the house?
Chief of this investigation, I was the one who only has the access to this. I mean, anyone who wish to analyze this CCTV footage will have to get approved.
So inside the footage, did you notice? What did you notice inside the footage at approximately 11, say 11:45?
As shown in the first evidence, two men broke into the victim's house.
Your Honor, I'd like to present this evidence to the jury. Okay. Alright. So this is the evidence you mentioned. No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, so defense counsel, would you like to cross-examine?
Yes, please.
So, policewoman, you said that you were the only one there when you retrieved the CCTV footage. Yes.
Yes.
So may I please take a look at it, of the CCTV footage? Your Honor, this inspector here, this policewoman here, claimed that she is the only one who was there when
Objection, Your Honor. She said she was the first one there, not the only one.
the first one there when she when she retrieved the CCTV footage. According to this CCTV footage, it clearly shows, yes, it indeed shows that two persons broke into Mother Hubbard's house. But please take a look at my two defense there. Mr. Jerry Chaplin and Mr. Jerry Watson and Mr. Tom Chaplin. Can you please look at the size of Mr. Jerry Watson, please? How does it even indicate?
Objection. It was already testified that they did broke into Mother Hubbard's
Yeah,
house
but
around
it
that
does not
time.
show that. It does not prove that it is Jerry Watson and
Wait.
Tom Chaplin.
Yes, but he was there seeing the crime. It was already testified
But
in
do you
his,
see the
in
face
his
here?
statement.
In his statement. But does this prove that he is the one there? Maybe, I don't know, you guys would have tampered with the CCTV footage, right?
Objection, Your Honor. This is merely opinion as policewoman has already testified that
But
she
do
was
you
the
have
only
to
one.
prove that this CCTV footage in this, the person inside here belongs to the face of my defendants here?
But it is at your opinion.
In
This
how
shows
would I know that? Maybe
evidence
you
that our defendants clearly broke into the window as they left their fingerprints on the window frame. Your Honor, may I please present this evidence to the jury?
Yes.
The jury members, here is the fingerprints you mentioned.
Okay, can I continue my question?
Yes, you may.
You said that you were the first one to arrive at the crime scene. So when you retrieved the CCTV footage, were you the only one there? You were the only one there. Oh, you were the only one there. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Witness, you may leave now. Prosecution counsel, you can call out your next witness.
Mine.
Your Honor, I'll bring forth the neighbor of Mother Hubbard as witness. I. Angel Long. Hereby swear that I will say nothing but the truth. So, Miss Tong, yes? I see that you're a 75-year-old woman In the so at 12, around 12 night, were you asleep at that moment? I'm 7'5", I sleep at 8. So what is it true that you actually woke up around 12:10 usually on certain occasions? Yes. So what was your next action that you took after you heard the noise?
It was really late in the night and I'm very old. So I obviously want to sleep. So I woke up. There were noises that were not very distant, but they were muffled and I couldn't really make out words. I opened my windowsill, I shouted for him to just shut up. And I shut it and I went away.
So after you shouted, shut up to the noise, did it go away or did it continue?
The noises subsided and I heard a car driving.
Does these noises occur often in span of 5 years that you've been Mother Hubbard's neighbor?
No,
No. So it's just only this one night,
I thought it would be really strange.
but you just went back to sleep.
I was tired.
Okay, no further questions, Ron.
Mrs. Tom, can you briefly explain, tell the court here, the relationship between you and the victim, Mother Hubbard?
We were neighbors.
Do you know her well?
Yes.
Are you close?
As neighbors can be.
So, Miss Tong, I have understood that you are 75 years old. Did you, you heard that, you said that you heard noises at the victim's house, but did you see my defendants broke into the house?
No.
You didn't. So that means that you didn't see the weapon as well, the murder weapon.
No. I just heard one.
If you heard noises, then why didn't you went on to investigate?
Because I used the mic.
Oh, you just did so you still can walk, is it?
The window was right next to my bed.
Oh, so you
I
got
just,
up and walked there.
I didn't. I just lifted the window.
Oh. Then I ask you this. How did you walk to your bed when you sleep?
I
Just
had
sitting, right?
scratches.
With crutches, 75-year-old only uses crutches. Okay. So you didn't see the murder weapon. You didn't see anything. You just heard the noises. Maybe the noises could have came from, I don't know, other places. It cannot, maybe it didn't came from the victim's house. How sure are you? Basically, you're already 75 years old. With all due respect, yeah.
My bedroom window was directly, it's big, the house structure, basically our houses are facing each other.
Oh, facing each other.
I mean, they're next to each other, and then the window of her bathroom is somewhere below. And all I heard, it's next door. So I just heard the noises. I didn't really care.
You didn't look at it.
No, I just heard noises. I said, keep quiet, and I went.
But logically, if you heard some suspicious noises, wouldn't a known person went to at least look what's going on? Why didn't you?
I have cataracts. I can't see very well.
You can't see very well. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Witness remain now. Prosecution counsel, you can bring your next witness.
Your Honor, I'm going to bring my fourth and final witness, which is Dr. Suresh.
I, Dr. D, hereby swear that I will say nothing but the truth.
Okay, so, Dr. Suresh, you're a forensics expert, no?
Yes,
And where did you get your, let's say, qualification as a forensics?
Harvard University.
In pathology, I assume?
Yes,
So, is this your first case of an old lady dying?
yes.
Okay. So, in your professional opinion, what were the signs of on the victim's body that you saw the first time you actually saw her?
She had a broken neck, and she had wounds due to the defendant stabbing.
Okay. The wound stabbing, was it as the thickness, the diameter, is it around this size?
Yes.
So, the stabbing on the wound of Mother Hubbard's abdomen, it was the size of this knife, the blood knife. Was it the knife, was this the knife that you saw inside her body?
Yes.
And on this knife, Dr. Suresh, may I ask, did you find any specific fingerprints of any specific person on that?
Yes. The fingerprints of the defendant.
Both of them?
Yes.
So in your professional opinion, you can assume that they have actually touched this murder weapon?
Definitely so.
Okay. Then, may I ask, due to the broken neck, mistake me if I'm wrong, that a broken neck is only caused by a specific cervical vertebrae or a broken in the spinal cord, yeah. Right? Am I right?
Yes.
So which one of these bones actually broke when Mother Hubbard's neck was broken?
The cervical vertebrae, not the spine.
So it is not actually lethal, is it?
No, but it did cause it to go into paralysis.
So you can see that the broken neck didn't actually cause the death.
Yes.
Okay. So let's say Dr. Suresh, the wound that you said on your abdomen, was it deep enough that it actually punctured a certain vital organ in the victim?
Yes, it was deep enough that it punctured the liver. That is what caused the death.
So the liver, Dr. Suresh, is actually a vital organ that is actually that helps the body filter out specific toxins, am I right?
Yes.
Can you tell us in specific what kind of toxin is it?
Uric acid?
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, today, can you tell the juries and the judge that what can cause by the puncturing of the liver of the Suresh?
Could you repeat the question?
Like what can the body face if the liver is actually punctured?
The uric acid basically affected our blood system, which caused the victim's death.
So you can say that the victim's body was full of toxins that it was unable to filter out all the bad chemicals inside her body, yes?
Yes.
And you can say that the life expectancy of an older woman is actually quite low, yes? So the process of mitosis, which is the reproduction of new cells, is very, very slow.
Yes.
Okay. So in no way can only one liver sustain the entire the merging of the circulatory system and the excretory system, no?
Yes.
So is it true that the cause of death is actually through the knife? So in no way can only one liver sustain the entire the merging of the circulatory system and the excretory system, no?
Yes.
So is it true that the cause of death is actually through the knife and the puncturing of the liver?
Yes.
So you can testify that the fact that the knife actually has the fingerprints of these two defendants.
Yes.
So, in your professional opinion, can she die in any other way?
It is highly unlikely.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Defense counsel, would you like to cross-examine?
Yes, please. Yes. Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, before my cross-examination of the witness, I might present over to you and to the jury evidence of some, such as of our own. Yes. If the jury wants it. Before I begin, I would like to know your name, please.
Dr. D.
Alright, thank you. Well, Dr. D, may I ask, how long are you working in this as a forensic?
15 years.
15 years. And this is your, and am I right to presume that this is your first case?
No, it is not.
Then, if so, then which case is this?
The exact number,
Yes.
I am not very sure. I have been working for 15 years. I do not know the exact number of the case.
Okay, Dr. D, upon examining and reference to your professional opinion, you have seen the body, yes?
Yes.
Then where exactly is the victim stabbed in the on the body?
Near the liver area. That's what it caused the puncture of the liver.
It's the fatal area, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Counselor, you may not take too long.
Here, Your Honor. As your forensic expert is an expert, so have you examined the crime scene itself?
Yes.
Yes. How long is it you alone? Are you working alone on this case, or do you have a team?
I was not working alone on this case.
But yeah, leading this case, this investigation of the
forensic part, yes.
Correct. How long did it take for you to reach the crime scene?
About 25 minutes.
5 minutes. And what was the crime scene like upon reaching the house?
When I reached the crime scene, I found the woman, as the other witness said, in the middle of the bathroom with a deep wound open with, obviously, the punctured liver and a broken neck.
So, just to summarize, you found the body of the woman lying in the middle bathroom.
Yes.
Is there any blood around? Is there any blood around it?
Yes, there was blood around.
Please explain to me the state of the blood. How was the blood formed?
There was a certain puddle around her, but you can see that because it was a very deep wound, hence it hit a vital area of her liver.
So, again to summarize, the victim's lying on the puddle of her blood in the middle bathroom. Yes?
Yes.
Then, please explain to me, Honor, if you don't mind. Please explain to me the picture of this scene. This picture shows that the puddle of blood is somewhere near the bathtub, and with some splatter against the
Somewhat near the bathtub and near the middle of the bathroom area as well.
An old woman of about 87 years old.
Yes.
An old woman wouldn't you think it's strange that an old woman has so much blood in her, and if she's brought out in a
Objection, Your Honor.
Yes.
This is merely his own opinion, and asking these questions is merely misleading the jury.
Objection, Your Honor, is the fact. Do you think an old woman, 87 years old, would have that much blood? Right? Please, this is not Hollywood movie, okay? You don't put like blood plastic things behind there and then, yeah, pop like that.
Counselor, do you have any evidence to prove that, or any professional source that you can prove an 80 years old woman would not have that much blood in her?
Thus, I'm appealing to the professional knowledge of Dr. D.
May I answer?
Yeah, yes, you may answer.
With all due respect, the wound that the victim had was such a huge wound, even despite the fact that she was an 87-year-old woman. Obviously, if it's such a deep wound, there would be a huge puddle of blood.
It's strange. A stab wound near the liver area in the abdomen, yes?
Yes.
Then why would the blood appear? Some of the blood appear to have splattered against the bathtub. A stab wound wouldn't to appeal to your professional knowledge. Will stab wound have caused the blood to splatter about?
It is possible.
As mentioned by my counsel, is it not? a movie. It's not Hollywood scene where we stab someone in the woman and blood splattered all over the place.
It is a possibility.
Please explain why, officer.
If it was such a deep wound, it is clearly a possibility that the blood would be splattered out to a large amount in the bathroom, as it was a bylaw.
Okay, and if in appeal to the have you, and I presume you have seen and examined the blade that was presumed to have they've been used to stab the victim in the body, yes?
Yes.
Please explain to me. What do you see when you examine the blade?
Well, obviously first would be the blood of the victim itself and the fingerprints of both the defendants.
Good. Okay. And where was this knife found when you examined the crime scene?
The knife was
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor. He's merely misleading the jury by repeating questions that were already asked.
I merely wish to confirm my knowledge before going further. Thank you.
Objection overruled.
And I know your answer.
It was a knife.
Yes. Where was the knife found when you examined the crime scene?
It was near the victim.
Near the victim. A stab wound that you have found. A stab wound, wouldn't the knife be embedded in the stab wound?
That was what I meant.
Yet you said mentioned near the victim.
Near the victim.
We didn't even mention it is in the victim.
My bad.
Please remain silent or else you will be chased out from the courtroom.
You did mention this is your 15 years experience, yes?
Yes. Every now and then.
Okay. Then wouldn't you find it surprising that you found that fingerprints of Mother Herbert wasn't found on the knife itself?
What do you mean? Could you explain? Sorry, just remember.
Then why is it that you have not informed the court that you have found fingerprints of Mother Herbert on the knife other than those of the victims?
Objection,
Those
Your
of
Honor.
the defendants, sorry.
There was no such evidence that was found.
Objection retained.
Thus, Mr. D,
Yes.
I would like to, I'm Dr. D, sorry. I would like to do a little demonstration for you and for the rest of the court to see if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yes, and if the lights may be turned off.
Yes,
you may.
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
And maybe please have the murder weapon for just demonstration. We won't tamper with it. Ladies and gentlemen, these two murder weapons are the exact same. So, Your Honor, can you please tell me now which is the murder weapon? Don't they look the same? Don't they look the same? Members of the jury,
Objection,
Your
Your
Honor,
Our
sit down
evidence
first. I'm not done.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Our evidence was procured from the police itself. How would he have obtained the murder weapon found in the crime scene?
Well, then you have to ask him that.
Objection overruled. The defense counsel can find the same knife to demonstrate the thing that he wanted to prove. So objection overruled.
So prosecution team, how can you be so sure that the murder weapon that you have is the murder weapon, and not this murder weapon that we have? I have no further questions, Your Honor. You may now on the lights.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I've no further questions left for the witnesses. Thank you.
Okay, so we get
Thank you, Your Honor.
So you can have 5 minutes break. Yeah.
And 5 minutes break. Now, yes, Judge, come in.
Court rise! Bow!
So, defense counsel, you may now bring in the defendants of the case. You may now give your opening address, please.
Good afternoon, Honorable Judge Sir Clement C. Nguyen. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and of course members of the public, I am Senior Counsel Darren Pui, along with my Junior Counsel Brian Tan and my Legal Solicitor Krista Ng. And it is our privilege to represent Mr. Jerry Watson and Mr. Tom Chaplin. In this case before you today. Now, you have heard from the prosecution party, who tried to make a worthy attempt at explaining themselves on what they hope will be proven to be correct. But what if I tell you what they did not tell you, which is all the facts? Okay, now let's start with facts and end with facts, shall we? So I would like to call upon my legal solicitor, Krista Ng, to present before the court the written statement. I would like to call upon my first accused, Mr. Jerry Watson.
I, Stefan. I mean Jerry. okay, Jerry. Yeah. Hereby swear that I will say nothing but the truth.
Mr. Stefan, where are you?
It's just too good of a name.
Mr. Jerry Watson, did you and your accomplice break into Mother Hubbard's house during that fortunate night? Yes. Why? Why of all houses did you and Mr. Tom Chaplin right there choose to break into that specific house?
It was a random choice. There was no.
How did you and Mr. Chaplin break into the house, may I ask?
I cut off the electricity along with the phone.
So can you please tell us what did you use to break into the house?
We used a brick to smash the rear window.
Just a brick.
Yeah, just a brick. We just found a brick.
So can you please tell the court what happened after that?
I climbed into the house. It was the apartment window, and I heard footsteps coming towards me.
Who did you see coming towards you?
I'm not sure. It was very dark, so I wasn't able to see. I just assumed it was a threat.
So what do you do after that?
Out of fear and self-defense, assuming that was a threat, I struck the figure and until it dropped.
Was the approaching figure Mother Hubbard?
As I said, at that point I was not sure because I could not see much.
So what do you do at that time?
Once she was on the ground, I went to the front to open the front door for my accomplice.
So can you please tell us how exactly did you feel the moment when you struck the victim?
At that point, I was actually quite disoriented, a bit angry, but I did not expect her to be there. So, as I mentioned before, I was quite afraid.
Did you kill Mother Hubbard?
No.
No. So why didn't you? Do you know the time when you and Mr. Chaplin left the place? What was the time then?
No
idea. So why didn't you take the hunting knife with you? Because it's basically found in the crime scene. Why didn't you take it?
When I opened the door for my accomplice, he came in with the blunt knife, and at that point, I didn't know if there was anyone else in the house, which I then used as means of defense if anything were to happen. At that point, Mother Hubbard was conscious again, and she was going crazy. She was throwing.
When you entered with the knife,
yeah,
you approached her. She woke up suddenly and started screaming.
I just simply went to check if what was going on, and she started screaming.
So what was she screaming about? May I ask?
I can't really. She mentioned another name which I can't really remember, and she went.
You mean she mentioned her husband, her late husband, or was she calling out anyone?
It may have been her husband. She was mentioning another name.
So when she mentioned that name, you got worked out.
Yes, both of us panicked and
you dropped the knife and you left.
At that point, we saw that she wasn't.
Your Honor, I have a further question.
So, prosecution counsel, would you like to cross-examine the defendant?
So Mr. Jerry Watson, is it? So, you do admit the fact that you actually broke into her house, yes? Around 11:45 per se?
Yeah.
So can you, in your opinion, claim that the CCTV showed what exactly you and your accomplice?
I was not aware of the CCTV or the evidence. I did not manage to see it, so I cannot.
But you do admit you actually broke into 11:45.
I did.
Okay. If you have a CCTV recording at 11:45, you can justify that you were there at the scene of the crime.
I guess it would. Yeah.
Okay, since it was dark, you say, right? It was around 11:45, it was dark. You broke the window and you jumped inside, am I correct? Okay. Then you heard steps.
Yes.
So you say that you actually landed a punch out of fear.
Yes, because it was dark. I could not see whether it was a male holding something, or as I mentioned before, did not know it was Mother Hubbard at the point. So, out of just instinct, protective instinct, I struck the figure.
Are you familiar with the neighborhood?
Not very. No.
Then how do you happen to find the neighborhood exactly?
I just knew that it was a slightly more wealthy area, so I decided to, if we were gonna break in and rob somewhere, it would be there.
Wealthy. She lives in a single floored terrace house, and you think that's wealthy?
Well, from where I come from, that's considered wealthy.
Fair enough. So, you landed the punch, right?
Yes.
Are you aware that you actually broke her neck?
At that point, everything was very hectic, so I was not aware. I just knew she was unconscious.
So you were aware that she was actually an 87-year-old woman?
At that point, as I said,
After you landed
after
the punch.
I landed the punch, I went to open the door for my accomplice. I did not take a look at the body.
Alright. According to a written statement that was submitted to us, is the fact that your accomplice, Tom Chaplin, is it, ran to the car and actually grabbed a blunt hunting knife. Yes? Okay. Is this the blunt hunting knife that your
Yes, that's
it
the.
was?
Yeah.
So you can say that this was actually yours.
Yeah.
So since your accomplice Tom took this from the car, did he give it to you?
Yes, he gave it to me. As I said, through the commotion, he thought it was necessary to have slightly more protection due to an unexpected scenario.
But why were you holding the knife since you actually know that she was an
He has
87-year-old
a.
woman?
So I told you before. When I went to, I didn't look at the body before I opened the.
But you said you realized after you broke her neck that she was actually an 87-year-old woman. How do you? Why are you contradicting?
I did not specify when after I broke her neck. I said after I struck her, I went to open the door. I did not get a good look at the body since I went to open the door for Tom.
Okay, so okay, a little bit contradicting there. Okay, but it's
It
okay.
was not contradicting.
You held the knife.
You asked me before whether I looked at the body, if I knew it was. I said I did not get a good look at the body before I went to open the door. Hence, he brought the knife for me as protection, and I was holding it as he had a broken knife. I know this was not contradictory.
That's it.
Of course, I'm the defense. Order.
Okay. Can you testify to the written statement that was given to us? The fact that Tom said you actually said, I'm not just gonna knock her out, I'm gonna kill her. Can you testify that statement?
At that point, as I said, I was angry and scared.
You were angry
Yeah, I did mention before.
at an 87-year-old woman.
I did not take a look at the body. I was just angry.
Even after you held the knife, you didn't look at the body.
Yeah.
But at some point, you did tell me that you realized she was an 87-year-old woman.
Yeah, I realized after that when I came in, and that's when I started. I was angry at the fact that things did not go to plan, so I just screamed it.
So you screamed that you are actually intending to kill her.
Out of anger. It
Yeah,
was
when
not a
actually
literal
proves the fact
statement.
that Mansria was present, you have the intention to kill her, no?
It was not a
Objection, Your Honor. Yes, it was indeed that manslaughter was proven. But can you prove actus rea?
This is what we're trying to prove.
Then prove it.
Calm down, okay?
Objection overruled. So you may continue.
Alright. So you actually spoke those words that says you actually have the intention to kill an 87-year-old woman. That 87-year-old woman. Yes? Yeah. Okay. So after, let's presume you, in your defense, you didn't kill her, right? What did you do after you said that?
As I said, after that, when I said that and everything, she started going into a frenzy. So both me and my accomplice panicked and we dropped the knife and ran.
How can you testify that frenzy? Since my witness, Dr. D, actually said that after you broke her neck, which broke her cerebral vertebra, actually set her in a state of paralysis. How did she start to throw a fit, in your words, if she's actually in a state of paralysis?
When I was there, she was not in a state of paralysis.
But medical experts show that it actually has.
It's possible that in the frenzy she might have further damaged.
So in your opinion,
That's my opinion.
in your unprofessional opinion, that she
Yes.
actually might.
Well, you asked me, so
Yeah, okay.
you asked for my unprofessional opinion.
Yes, very good. Okay, after she went in a fit of frenzy, she screamed. So what did you do next?
As I said, we panicked, we dropped the knife and we ran.
Just drop the knife. and
Yes,
you
we
ran.
dropped the knife because it was it created too much noise and we didn't know what to do. So, and I was already not in a very stable state before because everything was going wrong. So I just
So, let's presume that you didn't kill Mother Hubbard, so you just left her there screaming and then just exited, bolted through the door. And
Yes.
left.
Yes. At that point, it wouldn't have made any sense to me to kill her either ways, since we did not obtain any valuable items or anything. I just wanted. It would not have been worth it for me or my accomplice to have killed the victim. So we just left. We ran.
So let's say hypothetically it wasn't an 87-year-old woman, would you have actually committed the crime?
Which
If it wasn't an 87-year-old woman, would you have
crime
committed the crime?
isn't what I'm
Killing
accused
her.
for. It would have depended if they had posed a threat and if I would.
Objection, Your Honor.
Yeah.
The prosecutor appears to have been going around in circles. Would the prosecutor please get to the point of all this?
It's not wasting our time.
Objection sustained. You may change your question. You may not take too long.
Oh, okay, sorry. So basically he said that he didn't see the victim after he landed the punch, he said the foul word. But in a written statement that was given to us, he actually saw the Mother Hubbard when he was crouching outside beside the rubbish bin. How is that written statement contradicting to this witness here? Can you explain that?
I wrote Mother Hubbard because after that, obviously now I'm in court. I know it's Mother Hubbard. So I wrote.
But you actually saw a woman.
I saw the figure which I now know was Mother Hubbard, which explains why I wrote Mother Hubbard.
You were crouching
Yes,
inside
I was hiding behind the bin because I heard footsteps, and as it approached, out of fear, I struck the bin.
and you saw, okay, let me just summarize.
Which the
for you.
figure now I know is
Okay.
Mother Hubbard.
Let's just summarize what you said here, okay? You said you jumped into, you cracked the window, you jumped inside, you saw no one. And suddenly you heard footsteps because you didn't know anyone was there, you just landed a punch and she fell, right?
Yes.
But isn't it contradicting to your written statement that says that you actually saw a figure of a woman when you were crouching behind the bin? So why did you actually decide to still go in there and landed the punch out of fear, even though you actually know there was a figure there?
Even though I knew that was a...
Yeah. You landed a punch.
Even
You
though
said
I
you
knew.
didn't know, you were in fear, you were shocked. But you knew there was someone actually living there because you saw a woman figure there. So how do you justify
But
that?
I was hiding behind the bin after
Yeah,
that.
but you
Objection, Your Honor.
Yes.
The defendant might not, who is in a state of shock, might not be able to see clearly, as he mentioned. Is
So how do you justify
But
that?
I was hiding behind the bin after
Yeah,
that.
but
Objection, Your Honor.
Yes.
The defendant might not, who is in a state of shock, might not be able to see clearly, as he mentioned. It's dark at the same time.
And he was hectic at the moment, so yeah.
Objection sustained.
So, okay, let's say, so basically you're trying to tell either your written statement is false or your current statement is false. So either way, there's a big contradiction there. But basically, you were inside the house and you left, right?
Yes.
Okay. No further question, Your Honor.
Defendant, you may leave now. Defense counsel, would you like to bring in?
May I like to call upon my second accused, Mr. Tom Chaplin? Please.
I, Tom Chaplin, hereby to swear that I will say nothing but the truth. Also, we will start with questioning.
Dear Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Tom Chaplin. Alright. Now begin my cross-examination by asking you, what is it that happened to your right arm? As I see it's bounded right now.
My right arm.
Yes, what happened to it?
I broke it while I skateboarding.
And when do you break it?
Exactly 1 week before the accident happened.
1 week before this whole mess up happens. Alright? Okay, and how bad was this injury as you have a medical report?
According to the doctor and
And as I presume you have, as I recall, you may have given your medical report just now. Is this the medical report?
yeah, this medical report show that I need 3 months to recover from the injury.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll present this medical report to the judge. And the jury as well. Okay. Okay. Moving on. How is it that you break the window at Mother Habat's house?
I did not break into the window. My friend is the one that break into the window. Then he assists me by unlocking the front door for me.
Ah, yes. Then, do you, as I saw you saying that your injury has somewhat hindered your ability to climb through the window, right? Yes. Okay. Do you hear anyone inside the house or during at that time?
No.
Okay. So, after having entered the room, after your friend Jerry has opened the door, what do you do?
I went in with him.
Do you went in alone or do you went in with anything?
Before I went in, I went to the car to do a knife because my friend took a bit too long for the expected time that he should open the door for me.
And why do you think that grabbing a knife is
Just for self-protection in case there's someone inside the house.
okay?
Maybe they caught my friend.
Okay. Thus, Mr. Tom, is this the knife that resembles the one that is found in the crime scene?
Yeah.
But yet, the knife the actual knife is actually in the hands of the prosecution party right now.
It looks exactly the same.
Looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
So, so to summarize, you took the knife, you entered with your friend Jerry, and then what happened to the knife after that?
When we were panicked when the old woman came up because she screamed,
And
we panicked and Jerry took the knife and then we ran out from the house.
do you recall where do you drop the knife?
I think somewhere near the bathroom.
Okay. So did you or Jerry kill Mother Herbert?
No, we got no intention in killing.
Okay. My final question. What's the time exactly did you leave the house?
Around 12 or so, according to the clock at the car.
Okay. So to summarize to the public and to the court, this knife, which resembles the knife that is found at the crime scene. Okay, this shows that the knife that the murder weapon the weapon found by the prosecution team, it could be anything. It might not be necessary to be the knife that killed Mother Herbert. Thus, I rest my case. No further questions.
So the prosecution, would you like to cross-examine the defendant?
Tom Chaplin, yeah. On the day of 25th January 2014, you broke inside Mother Hubbard's house, yes? Were you the one who broke the window?
No.
You weren't, because of your medical conditions. Okay, can I say that it's actually contradicting with your written statement? You say that you broke the window, not Jerry. Yes, it actually says that you broke the window, not Jerry.
Objection, Your Honor. Yes. So what? Even if Tom did break the window, he didn't use his hand. It's stated clearly that he uses the brick. Please don't talk blindly. Read. Okay.
Objection, trustee.
Can you show me the statement, the written statement? Yes. Oh,
Okay, let's say hypothetically, either one of you broke the window and everything. Okay, when one of you broke the window, both of you went in the house, yes?
I went in
After Jerry.
the
Okay. Did you obtain the knife from the car before or after Jerry landed the punch on Mother Hubbard?
must be after, because during the time I was waiting outside the car and it took too long for Jerry to open the door, so I have to assume that there's someone inside the house.
Wait, so you didn't actually go inside the house with Jerry when he broke the window? You didn't?
I didn't.
So only Jerry was there when he broke the window?
Yeah.
Interesting. Which, can I say it was, then why did you write in the written submission that you pursue along Jerry after you broke, after hypothetically he broke the window, you went inside with him?
I didn't, because with my broken hand, I couldn't climb in through the window, so he had to go in and unlock the main door for me.
Okay. So, so you weren't there when he landed the punch? You weren't. You weren't. So, what made you actually take the knife and brought it inside the house?
It was just for self-protection.
So, how did you enter the house after you took the knife?
I took the knife with me and waiting for my friends to open the window,
Open the window.
the main door.
So, did he open the door for you? So you entered. So at this point of time, you didn't know that the person Jerry punched was actually an 87-year-old woman.
I didn't.
Okay. Mr. Tom, did you remember saying this words to Mr. Jerry? Why hadn't you knocked her out? Did you say that?
Yeah,
You did.
because when after I went in, we found that the old woman she punched is awake
So you do realize he was an 87-year-old woman, ladies and gentlemen.
after I went in.
Yeah, so you actually asked him, why hadn't you knocked her out? The her refers to an 87-year-old woman, yes?
Yes.
So you asked your accomplice, why hadn't he knocked her out? And he answered with, I'm not just going to knock her out, I'm going to kill her. Yes? And according to you, both of you are aware of the fact that it's actually an 87-year-old woman, ladies and gentlemen.
Objection, Your Honor. Yes. So what if my client, Mr. Jerry Watson, said that he said it before already? He said that he wanted to kill the victim out of anger, but did he? No, right? So
Yeah.
how can you prove that my clients, both of them, did kill her? They merely just stated the fact that they wanted to, but did they? No.
I'm getting there. Calm down.
Objection overruled.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, contradicting to what your friend said. He actually said that he didn't realize that it was actually an 87-year-old woman, but you say you realized the her was actually an 87-year-old woman, correct?
After we went in,
When you asked her that question, you actually realized it was an 87-year-old woman, no? Ask him. You realized. Yeah, okay. Sid, you handed over the knife that you have, a blunt hunting knife that looks similar to what apparently the defense have. Is this right?
yeah.
Okay. May I ask you, where did you obtain the knife?
You can obtain it easily from the shop.
Okay, specifically which shop?
The shop that sells all the accessories. For house accessories.
House accessories, they sell black hunting knife like this.
Yeah.
Objection, Your Honor. Can you please just get to the point? I don't see any relevance in asking my client where did he obtain the knife.
Objection sustained, so you may like to change your question.
So, okay, just admit that to a knife, right? Okay. So, obviously you got the knife and you handed it over to Jerry, your accomplice, yes?
Yeah.
So, in the presence of acknowledgement that it was actually an 87-year-old woman, you still handed over the knife to Jerry Watson, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So, when he said that he is going to kill her, how did you react?
It's normal because I'm a friend with him for a very long time. I know that he's a very bad temper and he tends to say all these kind of words very easily.
So you're very subdued, you're very nonchalant about the fact that he said he's going to kill an old woman. He is angry at an old woman and you're just very subdued about it?
He's not angry about the old woman, he's just angry that the plan didn't work accordingly.
Okay. So you handed over the knife to Jerry, and in your perspective, what did Jerry do with the knife?
He have to hold it for me because our intention was to rob the house and I couldn't handle it with my hand. That I got only one hand that can handle a knife, and the other hand I can't move, so I have to.
Okay. So the woman was on the floor, as you said, yes? Was she bleeding in any way?
No.
You left only 1 minute
Alright, okay.
for your
Yes,
question.
that's fine. Okay. Mr. Chaplin, how can you explain that the DNA of Mother Hubbard was on your knife, even though both of you claim that you didn't kill her, you didn't stab her, you just punched her and left the knife there? How do you actually explain that if the DNA, if there was no blood on the floor, like you said, there was no blood on the floor, but how did the blood actually obtain on this
Objection,
piece
Your
of-
Honor.
Yes?
What the hell?
Counsel. Silence. Counsel, please watch your word. You are not allowed to swear in court.
Calm down.
Silence.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor. Why is it that my client is just a mere teenager? How is he able to explain to you that the DNA on the knife is Mother Hubbard's?
Objection sustained. You are not able to ask him a professional question that he might not be able to answer you. So that's all for your section here. So defendant, you may leave now. So defense counsel, would you like to bring in your witness?
Yes, please. I would like to call upon my first witness, Mr. Lim Kai Xian.
Lim Kai Xian. Then I said they not the truth.
You may start to question.
Mr. Lee Kai-Sin, where were you between 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. on the 25th July 2014? That is when the murder took place.
I was jogging around the neighborhood.
Jogging around the neighborhood. The neighborhood, by that means the neighborhood of the victim, Mother Hubbard's.
Yes.
Mr. Lim Kai-Sin, is it a usual routine for you to jog around that neighborhood around this time of the night?
Yes, I have been jogging around the area for about 3 years.
3 years. What is it that you saw during that time when you were jogging? What was it that you saw during the time when you were jogging?
I saw a couple of figures running out from Mother Hubbard's house front.
You said you saw a couple of figures. So were you able to identify the figures in this chamber right now?
Yes, especially the guy over there with his right arm on the sleeve.
You mean the guy with the white shirt,
Yes.
Mr. Chaplin?
Yeah.
Good sir. How can you be so sure of that?
Because on that night, I saw the guy that running out from the house also has a sling on his right arm. And also his companion has the big figures like his friend over there.
Approximately what time was that when you saw those two figures running out?
Around 12:20.
12:20. How can you be so sure of that fact?
Well, I was checking my watch as I ran, so yeah, that's how I know.
While you were jogging, as you jogged past, did you see anything suspicious between those two accused right over there? Like maybe they were like taking out the clothes or just destroying some evidence or something like that? Did you see anything suspicious?
No, I just saw them running out from the house and heading towards the vehicle that parked up.
Park a block away. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
So the prosecution counsel, would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Mr. Kai-Sin. Like lawyer has said that you jogged there around 3 years, yes? So you're quite familiar with the area. Are you familiar with Mother Hubbard? No, but you have jogged around there. Okay, is the neighborhood peaceful in this kind of 3 years that you've jogged around? Very peaceful. Okay. In your kind of 3 years jogging, have you ever actually seen a couple of men just running out of a person's house and go inside a vehicle and just bolt it off? Or is this your first encounter?
Objection, Your Honor.
Yes?
By men, define men. Our clients are teenagers.
Whatever
With
you are.
Objection sustained. Can you please define man?
A person
Male or female or
man is male.
is there any age?
with no female reproductive system. Basically, this is the first time that you've seen two, let's say like those two people just running around, bolting out of the person's house, bolted off. So it's the first time. Just teenagers, in particular.
Well, for teenagers, there is.
There's not a lot of company. Okay, so you didn't think that it was suspicious that two teenagers are bolting out of the house into a delivery, into a vehicle and put it on? It wasn't suspicious to you?
But during the time, it was a bit because the time is already quite.
Yeah, it was around 12:20 according to you, right? So, because it was suspicious, why didn't you actually take any advancements to it, like calling the cops or waking up another neighbor per se? Why did you just continue jogging even though it was somewhat suspicious to you?
Well, maybe they have something emergency. So
Right. So, may I reaffirm that you are actually quite familiar with the neighborhood, yes? So you actually know that around the neighborhood there are a lot of elderly people, yes? Yeah. So wouldn't it be strange if two teenagers are actually bolting out the door in a neighborhood at 12:20 in the morning, even though it's on, an elderly people's neighborhood?
Objection, Your Honor. So you're meaning to say that the whole neighborhood there only consists of old people? That's what you're implying, right?
Majority of the
Majority.
citizens, yes.
You said the word majority, so maybe he's the minority. They are the minority, right?
Okay.
I have no further questions.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so in the span of 3 years, have you ever seen Mother Hubbard having any teenage grandchildren or sons?
Well, that's because I know that he has a son, but then I didn't know that he has actually.
Okay, so in the span of 3 years, you didn't know that Mother Hubbard had any teenage relations with anyone else, right? Okay. So you were just a passerby who saw two figures walking out with one of them has the hand. Yeah, okay. So you can specify that the figure actually looks like the two of them there. Around 12:20 p.m. All right. Okay. So they were at the scene of the crime at 12:20. They broke into 11:45 p.m. Okay. So you justified their presence there with the CCTV and everything. Okay. Other than that, no further questions, Your Honor.
So, witness in the next group. Defense counsel, would you like to bring your next witness?
I would like to call upon my second witness, Miss Dr. Terence Lim.
Terence Lim, Dr. Lim.
Silence.
Hereby swear that I will say nothing but the truth.
Dr. Terence Lim, what is your relationship with Mother Hubbard?
I was a psychologist and also one of the closest person around her.
As in, how is it that you are the closest person to her?
Because she often come to my clinic to visit me for some psychology session.
Thus, will you please enlighten me and the court her problem when that she needs to employ the services of a psychologist?
Here's a medical report to show that she has been suffering from post-traumatic disease system, and then syndrome, and then also insomnia.
I ask this to the judge and also to the jury. As a psychologist, do you prescribe medication for Mother Hubbard's mental disorders?
Yes, I do.
But do you have the authority to dispense medication to her?
No, I don't have the license for that.
Okay. Thus, I would like to. This counsel would like to know her current state of mental health before she died. When during the last time she visited you for an appointment?
Yeah, approximately 2 weeks ago, she visited my clinic and then undergo a psychology session.
Okay. And are there any noticeable change in her mental health during that time?
Okay, considering the fact that she has been my client for approximately 14 years since the unfortunate death of her husband, Mr. Hubbard. And then what I know is she has been suffering from the post-traumatic disease syndrome. And then this is what she has been suffering from. This is due to the gruesome death of her husband.
Her husband?
Yeah, her husband, Mr. Hubbard. He is also one of my clients.
How well do you know the late Mr. Hubbard?
Very well, my counsel, because I know him through the treatment, and then after that I met Mr. Hubbard, and then what I know is Mr. Hubbard also has the panic disorder.
So to summarize to the public and to the court, if you correct me, Dr. Terence, both Mrs. Hubbard and her late husband both suffered from mental disorders. Am I right?
Yeah.
Thus, to the judge and to the honorable judge and to respectful jury, it appears that you must consider the fact that an angle that the prosecution team have not considered that the victim is also a poor victim of a mental disorder. Thus, I rest my case. Thank you, Your Honor.
So the prosecution counsel, would you like to consider the questions?
Dr. Karen Smith, yeah? Okay. How many years have you been aiding Mother Hubbard?
14 years.
14 years, that's a very long time. Okay, so are you close to her? So very close?
Yeah, throughout these 14 years, yeah, he visited my prison very recently, maybe 2 weeks once or 1 week once.
So your relationship with her is very close. You like her as a person, yes?
Yeah, of course.
Very nice person.
Yeah, she's nice.
So in the span of 14 years, you claim that she has a mental disorder. Okay, mental disorder, both her and her husband, yes?
But Mrs. Hubbard got it after the death.
After the death
of her husband.
So you can say she was traumatized by the death. Okay, since you've been a close friend for 14 years, what's the cause of death of Mr. Hubbard?
Objection, Your Honor. Please do not bring up the past things of my client, of the victim's history. Please, even though you're the prosecution side, please respect the date.
This is what we're trying to prove, the guilty mind.
Objection, Omaru. You may continue.
So, can you answer the question? What caused Mr. Hubbard's death?
He suicided.
Sorry?
Suicide.
He suicided.
Yeah, from the panic disorder.
Oh, wow. Okay. Suicidal from the panic disorder. Since you've been a psychologist, yes? Okay, what are actually the symptoms of a panic disorder?
Since the offense,
Since you're the professional here, I'm not going to give my unprofessional opinion.
sometimes maybe they can't control themselves and then they have to think of something negative.
Okay. Panic disorder. Do you remember panic disorder?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But what and then I believe the negative thoughts of them having you should also eventually lead to some suicidal thoughts.
So you can say that panic disorder can cause suicide.
Depends on how serious and then, but I believe the victim is quite serious.
Oh, okay. So you, in your professional opinion, can you say that is there a possibility that Mother Hubbard killed herself?
I cannot 100% sure, but from my professional opinion, I believe that there is a very high possibility that she killed herself.
So 14 years in Nigeria, you haven't said anything about her hurting herself or anything. Just say that she has an insomnia and panic disorder. And you come up with like that.
Counsel, 1 minute more for you.
Alright, yeah, they are able to hurt themselves. Yes? Is it normal for a panic disorder patient to actually hurt themselves?
It is normal when they face some problem, they cannot solve it because her husband is not around her, and then maybe during the working, and then she panics, she don't know what to do, and she is helpless, and then that may happen. Yeah.
Okay. Juries, let's say, how can Mother Hubbard kill herself? And the fact that after Jerry broke her neck, she was in a state of paralysis. There is no way that her body or any part of her body can actually move or make any movements. So to say that she has a panic disorder and killed herself is very unlikely as stated by my friend professional. Thank you, Your Honor. No more questions.
Yes, Emily. So, the defense counsel, I would like you to make your closing address.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Your Honor. Yes, it is indeed that my client, Mr. Tom Chaplin and Mr. Jerry Watson, is guilty. Yes, they are guilty of breaking into the victim's house. Yes, indeed, they made a mistake. Born into a poor family and being given low education, they have no choice. They broke into the victim's house in hope to salvage what they can find. You speak of justice, you speak of innocence. What about justice? What about innocence for my clients? To prove the principle beyond reasonable doubt, yes, we have gathered lots of evidence, but however, most of the evidence, I would say, has two holes. The first witness you brought in, the inspector, the police woman, at first she stated that she was the only one there when the CCTV footage was recovered. But then, when I further cross-examined her, she said that she was the first one in. Ladies and gentlemen, didn't this contradict what she said? Secondly, our second witness is the neighbor. Yes, the neighbor. She claimed to heard some noises, but then she sees what's going on. I feel that the neighbor. Yes, the neighbor. She claimed to heard some noises, but then she sees what's going on. I feel that this witness over here is irrelevant to the court. For the third witness, the son-in-law. Ladies and gentlemen, I still don't see any point in asking the son-in-law into this court. Witness. What is a witness? A witness is defined as a witness to the crime scene. But do you think the son-in-law is a witness to the crime scene? He merely came, he merely saw the body, he found the body. So I can say that, okay, whoever found the body, first let's bring him into the court to be a witness. And for the last one, which is the forensic. You say that you are a professional forensic, right? Mr. Forensic, can I please confirm again, this is the crime scene?
Yes.
Yes. An 87-year-old woman, do you think that she had that much blood? Oh, please. This is not Hollywood, please. Okay, this is reality. Even so, she has that much blood of blood. You claim to say that you found her lying in the middle of the bathtub. But the bathroom. In the bathroom. But in actual fact, the victim was found lying on the bathtub. Yeah. Not like on the bathroom. Okay. And the crime scene. The crime scene clearly shows the blood stain. But do you think by just stabbing a person can cause this kind of blood stain? No, right? So please, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Your Honor, I believe that the crime scene has been exaggerated, has been tampered with. Your Honor, members of the jury, please consider the possibilities apart from charging my clients with outright murder and instead look at the facts that we have brought, which clearly states that our clients are not guilty for committing murder. Also, with the various inconsistencies on behalf of our very familiar prosecution team, we do hope that this House sees reason and understands the severity of placing these men behind bars as they are as innocent as the next person. Thank you.
Now, the prosecution counsel is able to make your closing address.
Okay, jurors, honorable judge. In this pen, 11:45 p.m. Let's put it in our head. 11:45 p.m. now. There was evidence that both of them, Jerry and Paul, were inside, broke into Mother Hubbard's house, and a jogger, a witness by the defense, saying that they do claim that there was two men bolted out of the house, exited with a vehicle. Okay, from 11:45 to 12:20 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, we are trying to prove that these two defendants here committed a crime, killed an 87-year-old woman named Mother Hubbard. Today we have presented to you a witness, a forensics expert who said that the cause of death was actually a puncture in the liver, which caused the release of a toxic called uric acid, which actually merged together with the circulatory system and the excretory system, which actually caused a high amount of toxic to be in her body. For an 87-year-old woman, the defense attorney said that there's no way that an old woman can have that much blood. Ladies and gentlemen, biomedical, yes, they can. The human body consists of actually 70% around a lot of water and blood, and he's supposed to say that there's not much blood that can actually cause the blood on the floor. In that span of time, since we already proved to you that in the span of time from 11:45 to 12:20 p.m., they were actually in Mother Hubbard's house. They broke her neck, that they didn't kill her, but they put her in a state of paralysis. It was proven as the neck was broken, but yes, it wasn't lethal. Then we found a murder weapon. According to the first person who saw the body of Mother Hubbard, which is her son-in-law, James Brown, saw that the knife was actually inside her body. Since he is the first one who actually saw the body, it was inside the body, and there was blood everywhere. But according to the defense, there was no blood when they left. They just left the knife on the floor. But then, ladies and gentlemen, we have actually proved to you that they have that the DNA of the blood of the victim was on the knife itself, and the fact that the two fingerprints of these two defendants were actually present on the knife. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the death of an 87-year-old woman. They say that they talk about justice and innocence. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about these two men clearly overpowering 87-year-old woman, helpless, who lives on her own, broke into her window, punched her neck, and in the span of time that they punched her neck, they are actually aware of the fact that she is an 87-year-old woman, but still they held a knife in their hand and saying that that Jerry wanted to kill her. That actually proves the act of mens rea, ladies and gentlemen, which is the guilty mind. Now, we proved to you that how actus reus is present with the fact that we have proved to you medical reports of fingerprints, blood DNA, and the murder weapon itself. And funnily enough, Tom and Jerry's statement in the court contradicts their written statement before the court. In the written statement, ladies and gentlemen, Tom said that he actually went inside Mother Hubbard's house with Jerry. He did not wait in the car, which is one contradiction. And another contradiction is the fact that Jerry said he didn't see a woman in the house. He thought the house was empty. That is contradiction, ladies and gentlemen, and they obviously want to save their own lives from going to prison, but they didn't think of the consequences of killing an innocent 87-year-old woman. Their contradiction and our evidences obviously have proven to you why actus reus and mens rea were in fact present, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, I rest my case. Thank you.
Okay, so now I'll make a conclusion of this case. So for prosecution counsel, they have brought in evidences, which is the knife, the murder weapon, and the CCTV footage that actually filmed that the two defendants were there in the crime scene, and the fingerprint, the DNA of the blood stain on the knife is actually belongs to Mother Hubbard, and then the puncture in liver that causes the Mother Hubbard's death. And then for the defense counsel, they brought out the evidences that the Mother Hubbard actually suffered from the mental illness. Okay, so as this is a criminal offense, there is a high standard of proof which beyond reasonable doubt. So juries, I would like to remind the juries, the member of juries, that you have to give the unanimous verdict, which all of you have to agree that the defendant is guilty, or else they were considered not guilty. So now we will have an urgent for 5 minutes for jury's deliberation.
Court rise.
Can I say 1 minute or 2 minutes because we're rushing out, rushing for time, it's really ending, some of them have to leave. If you got a quick one, do you want to leave just outside here and then you come back again? Okay? You have to pick a representative from the jury. One of you will stand up afterward and read out the verdict. There's no difference. It's either guilty or not guilty. That's all. Very simple. Unanimous verdict. Okay, come. Quickly, 1 minute. Don't take too long. The rest of you can take photograph. Okay.
Bow.
I would like to have one representative from the jury to give a verdict.
Okay, we have agreed that the victims are guilty.
Defendant.
Silence. Silence. So as there is anonymous verdict, so the two defendants, which is Chaplin and Watson, will be charged under Section 11 and 12 of the Criminal Law Consolidation Act 1935 South Australia, which leads to life imprisonment.
Okay, class, thank you very much. Okay. Lawyer, you take a photograph and you help me to fold the rope in a plastic bag. I